It's day 3 of Project Obake. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to try to unbolt the roll cage. And then it's going to be a lot of grinding and cutting and trying to create clean surfaces that I can weld my patch panels to. All right, so as you can see, I've been going over this with the Porter cable refinisher, and there's a lot of pitting. All right, so it's pretty much anywhere where there was the foam that they put on there to prevent you from getting bumps on your head. Anywhere that was, it was collecting moisture, and then you were getting pretty significant rusting. So here, let me show you an unfinished section so you can see how bad that is, all the scaling and everything. So I've been grinding that out, and then what you end up getting is it's pitting like that. All right, so everything's ground down. I use the Porter cable restorer with the whatever brush this thing is. It's like a textured brush. I don't know what grit it is, but I'm assuming it's probably, I don't know, 120 maybe 80. But I got everything down to bare metal for the most part. At least I took care of all the flaking rust. And now, hard to reach areas, I just use this 40 grit flap disc. And then now I'm going to coat the entire thing with fast etch. Let that soak on there for a little while. And once that's done, then it's going to get a zinc phosphate coating on it. And take care of any rust issues or surface rusting. Technically, I wouldn't have to. I could just leave it out in nature, and it won't rust, or it'll be very minimal. But what I'm going to do instead, I'm debating still if I'm going to use Bondo on these pits, because they look pretty nasty and it's not even, and it bothers me. Or what I could do is I could just spray it with a textured finish, or what I could do is also spray cans that have like a hammered finish. I can do that as well. That might be an easy way to get around the pitting, but the pitting still would look kind of unpleasant on the eyes, and whoever had it would always wonder, like why is it textured, right? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to do a skim coat of Bondo on there, sand it all down, smooth it out, and then just hit it up with black spray paint. So now what I have to do is I have to fill all those little pits that are in the metal from where the scaling was, and then and the rust kind of ate through into the metal, created a bunch of craters and stuff. So I'm going to fill that up with Bondo and just regular Bondo, smooth it out, just to kind of have it a consistent, smooth finish on the metal. And then I'm going to go over that with black paint and primer, all in one can of Rust-Oleum, I think it is, Krylon maybe, whatever, whatever I picked up at Home Depot. So I'll spray that, just get it all nice and shiny black, and it should be finished. Okay, so here you can see how all the craters have been filled in. Try to do a skim coat over it and just fill them in. And now what I have to do is go through it and, sorry, you can't get it, the sunlight's directly behind there. But what I'm going to do now is go over it with the orbital sander and then smooth it all out, you know, and then these will be flush with the rest of the steel and you won't even know they were there. So I'll go over it with the orbital sander and then I'll do some hand sanding and even it all, smooth it all out. But yeah, so it was, you can just see just how many there were over the entire, it seems like this side of the roll cage had it worse. So it was like this rear section, or front section actually. So the rear section, the poster seemed pretty good. There's a couple spots that I just had to touch up, but the majority of it was on these bars, the side bars, and the front. All right, to get an idea of just how messed up this was, you can see all these white spots. These are where all the little craters were. So it was hard to tell when it wasn't filled in, but now look, now it's smooth. And I'll go over it again with my hands, you know, and 320 grit, but look how bad that is. This is all crater marked. Now it's gonna be smooth. I'll spray it with primer and paint, and look at that. So now it'll look good as new. All right, so here we have the first coat of primer down. It's a red primer because that's all I had, kind of a reddish brown, which is interesting because Toyota actually used a red base primer on FJs anyway. So it's not the same kind of red, but similar. So now I'm gonna go over this with gloss black and be done with it.